Hey guys, it's Teddy. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about offshore banking and tax havens. And I'm going to do it in a way that's simple and just kind of explains to you how they work. And offshore banking is pretty much what it sounds like. You're putting money in a place that you don't live. It doesn't always have to be offshore, but the vast majority of time it is. And opening an offshore bank account isn't really much different from going down to your local bank and opening up a checking account there. The laws have become a bit more stricter, but it's really not that much different. And there are tax havens literally all over the world. In fact, Delaware is a tax haven, although don't plan on going to Delaware to open a checking account because if you live in the United States, the rules apply differently to you. And tax havens come in all different shapes and sizes, so to speak. The Cayman Islands is probably the most famous, and it's known because you can set up anonymous companies there, and you guessed it, you pay little to no taxes. And then you have a country like Switzerland, which is known for its secrecy, although this has been debated ever since 2008 happened. And it's also a very valuable currency. When there's wars going on, the Swiss franc tends to go up in value. And then you have a place like Singapore, which is a little less well known, but it's known for having huge returns on checking accounts. I just checked it, and you can get a 2% return on a checking account in Malaysia. But the biggest question people have is who exactly uses these types of bank accounts, and how do they use them to evade taxes? And a good example of somebody that would use this would be, number one, a really paranoid investor. And you may know somebody like this. They're always paranoid about wars, hyperinflation, and they're always paranoid that somebody is going to steal money via online fraud. And for the paranoid investor, Switzerland is going to be a great place to put money because if there ever was a war, the Swiss franc would probably soar in value, and you also have that added secrecy to where you never have to worry about anybody being able to steal money from you. Another example would be somebody that owns maybe like an online casino, an affiliate business, or maybe a really big YouTuber. And the traits of these businesses is that you can operate them from anywhere, and they have very questionable, quote, taxable events, meaning that if you sold a product from your business, it's very questionable as to where you could say is actually sold from, so to speak. So if your online company is located in a tax haven, the website servers are located in a tax haven, the products that you sell are located in a tax haven, and you even own real estate in a tax haven, how is the US government going to tax you on any income that you receive? And then you have multinational companies like Apple and Microsoft, which utilize the same tax haven concepts as the online business, but just on a bigger scale. And when you have a supply chain that big, you have to ask yourself, where is the iPhone income actually recorded? And that really just depends on where the accountants want it to be. And now you can see how tax havens have become such a huge issue in today's world. There's so much gray area, and there's so little difference that separates somebody from tax evasion and legal tax avoidance. And the issue is further compounded by globalization. People can travel all over the world, and the hyperconnectedness of the internet allows tax havens to flourish because money can be shifted in the split second it takes to click a mouse. And the attempts to regulate tax havens have been fought because people are worried that there could be almost like a financial police state with things like abuses of power. Think of the NSA, but with your bank account, so to speak. And no attempts to regulate tax havens, which I kind of believe is the state that we are in now, leads to very wealthy people avoiding taxes and kind of the rest of the population, like me and you, being left with the tab. And while it's very easy and cheap to open up a checking account in Switzerland, fully utilizing an offshore account, so to speak, or tax avoidance is very expensive and requires very specialized people. And this barrier to entry makes it only available to literally the wealthiest people in the world. And I'm all about free markets and owning private property, but I believe the wealthiest people should be paying some taxes at least. Now, there's proponents for both sides of the argument. There's people who claim that the true damage of tax havens will never be known and that the numbers in trillions of dollars that the media claims are bloated and there's no real damage. But on the other side of the token, I believe that there's very little arguments for having tax havens. And while I believe everybody tries to limit their tax liability to a certain degree, you shouldn't be able to outright avoid taxes, especially if you are very, very wealthy. But anyway, that's it for today. I hope that you guys found this video informative and entertaining. If you like, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below because I'm always coming out with videos like this. And as always, thank you for watching.